Hello, we've put together this short video which should last about 20 minutes or so, focusing on stock transfer projects for registered providers. We're looking at why these projects are so popular at the moment, what it is you need to think about to make a really successful project, and some top tips as well from our experience. The team at Capsticks here has been acting on these projects for many years. My name's Susie Rogers, I'm a partner here and I head up the team. And I'm joined today by my colleague Wilson Tang, who has assisted me on a number of these projects now. And we're going to be talking about what we've learned both over the years and on some very recent projects that we've been dealing with. We hope that you'll find the session today interesting and informative. Do get in touch if you've got any questions or if there's any bespoke training that you would like us to provide for your particular team. So grab a coffee, settle down, and we'll make a start. So Wilson, over to you for the first question.
Thank you, Susie. So my first question to you is, why are so many RPs considering these projects at the moment?
Thanks, that's quite an interesting question, and we have definitely noticed a real uptick in the number of registered providers that are looking at these sorts of stock transfer projects at the moment. There's a few reasons for that, but actually the main reason is around the repairs and maintenance costs of the stock. RPs have always looked very carefully at the location and the stock condition of their units to ensure that those units are performing well and they're providing the best possible service to residents. But there has been an increased spotlight on this following the tragic events at Grenfell Tower in 2017. Which has led to health and safety improvements being needed in a number of areas. And also with decent homes too, and with environmental targets looming down the line as well, it means that RPs are expected to have set aside a bigger chunk of their budget for repairs and maintenance work. And in particular, we've seen the regulator give a warning to the sector that perhaps RPs still aren't realising how much money they will need to spend on repairs and maintenance in the coming period. But what it does mean is that RPs are looking to divest of stock that is perhaps outside their core geographical area or which does need quite a lot of investment, so that they can reinvest that capital in either new stock that they're developing or in refurbishing existing stock. So we're seeing a few different types of these projects, Wilson, and the first is the most traditional portfolio transfer of tenanted stock, isn't it?
That's correct. So the first approach is portfolio disposals of tenanted stock within the sector. The main reasons for this are usually because the stock is outside the RP's usual operation areas. And the second is because the potential capital receipts can be used elsewhere in the business, for example, in regenerating existing stock.
And so what about when RPs are looking to dispose of void stock?
So with void stock, these are sold on the open market. Similar reasons to tenanted stock, but with these void units, a lot of our clients have sophisticated programs of identifying void stock that is underperforming.
And what about the suggestion that sometimes registered providers might just be trying to get shot of some dodgy stock? What about that?
Yeah, so with both approaches, they shouldn't be used as an opportunity to sell off problematic stock. RPs are under an obligation to protect social housing assets and be accountable to their residents. My next question is, how can RPs achieve a quick and painless stock transfer?
So we deal with a lot of these projects, and one thing we notice that successful projects have in common is that they're really well organised and well prepared. So it's all in the preparation really. So for sellers, it's about getting the right team around you, getting that team ready, and then really understanding the stock and really understanding its value, and making sure that your legal team is involved early, of course, to make sure that bidders have everything they need. So our role is not just to collate information, but to make sure that everything that the bidders need is available to them, but also to make sure that you have a clear idea of what will impact on the value of that stock, so that you enter the process with a realistic expectation of the price that you're going to achieve and the timescales that you should be working to. For buyers, it's quite similar actually. It's about conducting a fairly rapid review of the information that's being provided to you, checking whether anything's missing, making sure that you really understand, again, the value of the stock that you're buying. So once you've put in your price and you get access to additional information, it's about making sure very quickly that there's nothing in that additional information that would undermine the price that you have bid for the stock. Again, solicitors are critical to helping you understand the value of the stock and what, for instance, would be an issue for funders on a future charging project. That's the sort of thing that we would highlight. If sellers and their solicitors have done their job properly, then there really shouldn't be anything that will impact value, and it should run through very smoothly. And an example I can give is we acted for a buyer on a transaction at the end of last year where we were instructed, you will remember this well, Wilson, on the 20th of December. And we had a lot of units to look at, but we were able to review all of the titles and to be in a position to raise any questions with the seller solicitors when everybody returned after the Christmas break on about the 10th of January. And that put us in a really good position to focus on the key issues that really mattered and make sure that we could achieve exchange within about 4 weeks after that. So I'm conscious that we're unfortunately living in a time of a global pandemic. How can a registered provider practically carry out a consultation exercise at the moment?
So COVID presents an obvious challenge to consultation. It's a challenge, but none that can't be overcome. First and foremost, safety. That's safety for your residents, your staff and your frontline team. First step is to analyse the demographic of your consultees, check your records, find out how they prefer to be contacted and also how they respond to you. It's worth mentioning there's nothing wrong with using the old-fashioned ways of information packs, letters and the postal service. It's particularly useful with the rise of regional lockdowns, and also with vulnerable residents, just factor in time to contact them and follow up to see that they've actually received the information.
And so just one last question for me. Have you got 3 top tips for a successful project that you could recommend?
Yes, so the first is the right team. That's using the right agents, solicitors, and having the correct internal team with the authority to bring the project from start to finish. The second is using tried and test processes. That's with Capstick's process. It's designed to ensure that any issues that are likely to affect pricing and timing are flagged as soon as possible, with the opportunity to amend those issues. And what this means is that the bids that you receive are the final purchase price. And finally, just ensuring that the projects are front-ended. This means ensuring your bidders have all the information available to them at the start of the project, so there's no opportunity for them to price chip you throughout the transaction.
So I hope you found this helpful and informative. As I said at the beginning, if you've got any questions or there's any bespoke training you would like, then do get in touch with us. We have done a lot of these, so there isn't much that we haven't seen before. And thank you for listening.